Hello guys, I'm Eddie. Welcome to the channel, and today I'm going to be showing you how to change spark plugs on a 2012 Mazda 3 Skyactiv. So hit the subscribe button, click the like button, click the notification bell, and let's continue. Alright, so time to pull her into the shop so we won't be hot from the sun while we're doing it. Now, the reason why we're changing is because I'm hearing misfires, and I'm thinking that's why I have a check engine light for the longest time, because spark plugs are just getting worse and worse and worse, and sometimes the check engine light turns off, sometimes it turns on. I thought it's because of my leaking exhaust, but probably not. It's probably because of misfires. So if the car is cooled down long enough, you'll hear how it misfires. Just listen to this. We'll see here. You hear it? It's kind of a little rough. This sound right here, it's even worse when it's completely cooled down. That's because it's misfiring. So time to pull it in the shop and work on it. Let's get this car into the shop. It shouldn't take too long. It takes only a couple of minutes and just a few simple tools. So in this case, I would only set the emergency parking brake because this car is really not going to move on. So put it in park, emergency brake up, and really do not know what's going on with it, but I'm going to change the spark plugs. Alrighty guys, so time to change the spark plugs. I'll show you step-by-step guidance. Hopefully that's my issue. The car started revving high when I entered it, so I did not know what it could be, but yeah, I'm going to figure it out. So I put this on. First of all, I'm going to check any vacuum lines or anything like that and make sure any lines, any seal, any like, oh, I figured it out. I figured it out, guys. So I know exactly what my problem is, but I'm still going to change the spark plugs. This is a big opening, and it's not sucking in air properly. So guys, all you need to do to fix this issue is grab a flathead and unscrew this. Have it pretty loose, and then put this back in. You gotta put it back in, make sure it's good in there. Move this over a bit. Sometimes over age, I guess, they get loose. So you're gonna move this band over as much as you can to the edge so that it seals it nice and tight. So whenever you guys have a custom intake, make sure that it gets sealed properly over here, because they can cause issues. And my engine was over revving. I don't know if I filmed that, but the revs were really high during idle, and I was wondering what is wrong. Is that because I thought I'm misfiring? So maybe I'm misfiring, maybe I'm not, but I'm gonna still change the spark plug, show you guys how to change spark plugs. But all right, that's in there good and tight. Down here it's good in there good and tight. So you can see that's where all my sensors are and everything. And so over time, as you can see, they get loose from heat. So you want to give them nice tight adjustments here. Some nice tight adjustments. And this one looks tight. And over here, let's see here. Yeah, give some nice tight adjustments. Oh wow, they're pretty loose down here. So, gotta straighten them all out, tighten them, and good to go. Now guys, when I started, I should not be getting any rough idle. It's working just fine. So now I am just going to change the spark plugs. Alright, step one to change the spark plugs, you remove this cover right here, which is very easy. Guys, so the first thing you're gonna do is take this bracket off, and these are 10mm. So you just grab 10mm and unscrew them all. Okay, once you unscrew the nuts off, you grab this off, and then you have to unscrew these down farther as well. Those guys are also a 10, so you gotta remove them as well. Make sure you do not over tighten these guys, but they must be snug, or else they could break if you're over tightening them. Alright, once you got that done, you can start pulling the ignition coils off one by one. Come off. Make sure you don't mix them up. It's kind of hard to mix them up, but you pull them off one by one here. Perfect. They look clean to me. Now it's time to get the proper tools to get them unscrewed. Okay guys, so what you're gonna do now is you're gonna grab a 14mm spark plug socket. As long as the socket that can fit over a spark plug is good. You can test them on the new ones, but with an extender, put it down on in there, and you unscrew each one. Just like that. You unscrew it. Alright guys, so I took it out. As you can see, when I unscrewed it, they look really bad. But when I unscrewed it, I also grabbed the coil back and stuck it back in gently, just until this rubber thing goes back over the spark plug. That way I could pull it out. But they do look back. I'll show you the difference between the old and new pretty soon. As you can see, that's how bad they were. This one I'm a little worried about. This one's kind of black. I don't know if it's oil. It could be, but it probably isn't. But they're just all bad. This one is just extremely bad and damaged from misfires. So that's probably what's been causing issues versus the new ones. The ones I got was NGK Iridium IX, which is the high-end ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and install them back in. And what you do, guys, when you install them back in, I'll show you here. Install them back in, you put them in like this. All right, you flip this to go to the right now, but you don't, there's a torque spec for these, but I don't know them. Just tighten them, but don't over tighten them. You never want to over tighten them. So I'm just gonna put them in one by one. I believe that's how you do it, and just start tightening them. Let's see here. Once I get so it's going, guys. So it's getting got the thread going on them. You got to be very careful, spark plugs. And these do not need to be gapped. They already come pre-gapped for your car. So just do a little tight, but not all the way, just so it's snug enough. So guys, what also might help is attach the spark plug to the end of this extension and just screw it with your hand until it becomes tight, and then use the socket to screw it in. See, it became tight. See here, keep on screwing in. Perfect. Now grab your socket and screw it in tight, snug. You don't over tighten them or you can break it. Okay, after you're done with that, you put your coil packs back in. They should fit normally and snugly in there. Every single one of them should have no problems whatsoever. Perfect. And perfect. This will be my second or third time changing spark plugs. This car is 136,000 miles plus. When I was running E85, I was running different spark plugs as well. Now, since it's only a 93 in the E85 program, I have to contact the guy because it's a new update in the software. So I'm just running 93, and that's the kind of spark plugs I'm gonna go with. All right, so next, here's what you guys do. Next, you guys are gonna put in these bolts with attached nuts, built-in nuts, back into each coil pack. You could screw them in by hand, every single one, until you get all the way to the bottom. And remember, you do not over tighten any of this. I made mistakes with my previous Skyactiv engines. They were over tightened, and I actually broke some of them. So luckily they still worked, but you know, I over tightened and broke some of the nuts and bolts of this because they were so rusty. These things sit for thousands of miles, you know, and with heat and everything. So you got to be careful how much you tighten them. You want them snug, but you don't want them over tightened. You don't want to hear any clicking, you know. So you get that hand screwed in. You grab your 10mm socket, put it in here, and just so they're tight, snugly tight. There you go. You don't need much. You just need snug. You just need snug. That's all you need. This one is a little so just snug. You just need them snug, guys. If you have them any other way, you might break. Next, guys, you're gonna put back this bracket right here, which just goes like this. So that was upside down. Put them on like this. Perfect. And now, guys, you also grab the nuts for the tops of these, and you tighten them by hand as well until you get them all the way to the bottom before tightening with the 10mm. I'm gonna put them all on so I don't lose them. Well, these are 10mm nuts. Tighten them all by hand as much as you can. All right, and then you grab your socket, wherever it went. I just lost my socket. Oh, and you grab your 10mm socket and you tighten them again. And like I said, guys, again, not too tightly, just tight enough, because you could break these as well. You just want them snug, but you don't want them to get loose over time. You just need them snug, but not loose. There you go. Perfect. Then you can put the vacuum line back in its clip. If that's in the way for you, then you're gonna grab your cover. Grab your cover, and they slide right into with that metal bracket. So when you slide it, it should theoretically work. Let's see here. Gotta see where these things line up, because when you do line them up correctly, hold on a second. Perfect. Done. It's all lined up and good to go. Next, put away all the tools that you used and dispose everything properly. All right, next, guys, we are going to close the hood. And start the engine. I didn't reset my battery, so I might have a check engine light, but theoretically there should be no misfires and the car will run better. So we're gonna give her a good test run as well. The check engine light might go away, so let's get it started. Check engine light's still there, but I think everything's working well. Give it a gas. And let's give her a spin quickly. Can let the engine warm up a little. Good thing is that if the engine's cold, there's going to be a blue symbol right here that the engine's cold. But it's not, so I'm going to go give her a test run. Let's see here. And I think the engine's running a little less rough now too, so we'll give her a shot. All right, peaceful day. Let's go wake up some neighbors. More noise of neighbors, so. Alright guys, and there you have it. That's how you change spark plugs on a 2012 Mazda 3 Skyactiv 2.0. And yeah, what do you call, the engine now runs super smooth because of that spark plug change. So good thing I figured out the rough idle with that intake, and the spark plugs, new spark plugs have changed, did a major fact, and it also made the car run a lot better and feels a little bit more powerful. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe button, and comment. And I'll see you next time. Guys, I'm Eddie B. 2004 turn right. This particular package. Driving a temp in the 6 Series.